Good evening, everyone. It is your sister in spirit and your friend Alicia Dunleavy here. I am present with a lot of things, and while joy is the theme of the month, and while I would love to continue to talk about joy, I cannot deny that there's something pretty devastating happening in a community very nearby where flooding has happened. Lives were lost, and many lives have been completely changed by this devastating event, not only up in Wheeling, but down in Fairmont and Morgantown. And while I would love to be strict about these themes of joy and embracing joy, I also really don't believe in toxic positivity and avoidance of truth, right? Sometimes joy is just not the vibe, and that is okay, right? Sometimes joy can be found in the realization that the community has pulled together in order to support a community in need. I'm sure that there are glimpses of joy in sparks of joy and little spaces in between. But the theme is emotions and even the thought of like water itself being something that is emotional, or that is associated with emotions. There's just this energy here, and I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the emotions that are happening in the community, the emotions that are happening in the world, the emotions that are happening to you as an individual, and remembering that embracing joy does not mean not accepting pain, suffering, right? It is just an invitation to seeing things from a different perspective. And sometimes simply just to ease the intensity of the sorrow in the moment. So wishing all of you and all of those affected peace and love during this time of healing. Deep prayers and acknowledgement. In today's episode, we are going to kind of follow that flow. I really wanted to bring attention to any other place where there might be some emotions rising up in other people, so we're going to be doing a reading today, which I hope that you guys can enjoy. I hope that there are some messages in there that can resonate with you. Of course, if you find that you're hearing this not only from yourself, but maybe a loved one, feel free to send this message to them. But I decided to use this deck. To me, it's a deck that I've had for a long time, and every time I'm with this deck, it just feels like a cup of hot cocoa, of chai tea, of warm, just something very nourishing, comforting. And I felt like that was an important energy to kind of use today. We had 3 cards come out, and the first card that came out was actually a card that was at the bottom of the deck, and it is called the Blood Dance. And so I'm going to go ahead and read this card to you and the following 2 cards, and then I'm going to get an overall message. The Blood Dance. The heart craves life, and the blood responds. In relationship to each other, life happens. The desire and the action, the movement of cycles, drawing in and letting go, rushing to the center and pushing far away to the extremities. It is the cycle of relationship, dancing between self and other into oneness and into individuality. So it is with human beings in relationship with each other and with human beings and the divine essence. Sometimes the heart of God feels so close, it's as though our own inner passion is the very blood rushing through it. Then we journey far, bringing our nourishment to where it is needed, to those who are cold and lonely, to the farthest reaches of our own dark self, that we may, if very brave, dare to love completely. Though we can be lonely for the warmth of the center, then, craving that feeling of being at home, soon enough we are called back to the core of the divine heart, and the cycle continues. Remember that you are always in this dance of life. You're never apart from the divine. It's just that sometimes in our natural flow, it is easier to feel that divine presence than other times. Yet you are always the blood connected to the heart. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are connected to the divine source, to all that is. If you are experiencing a phase of feeling cut off from yourself, from your body, from another, or from the divine, even from your own feelings, spiritual connection or intuition, be reassured that this is temporary and a part of the natural cycle of life itself. Soon all connection should return with even greater warmth and nourishment, welcoming you home again with great love. If you feel you have been journeying in life in fear that you have lost your way, do not trouble yourself, precious soul. You are never far from the divine heart and will always be called home. And the poem is, love's language speaks like the sound of falling leaves, caressing wind to bear aroma sweet. You can ask if I can love in measure true, and give emotions weight the scales do. Each tear releases more than words can say, expressing all my heart wants to convey. And then we have the breaking. Interesting. Okay, so I'm kind of hearing a message come through first. The thing that I love about this message that's kind of coming out is like I can totally relate to that feeling. Over the past 3 days, I felt like I have felt lost, confused. I have felt dizzy. I have felt super in chaos mentally and energetically and even physically. Okay. And that can kind of bring this feeling of like, God, where are you? Creator, where are you? Peace, where are you? Joy, where is the good stuff? You know, like where is the home? Where is the peace? And with this card, it's kind of explaining like, okay, if the heart is that like pleasant comfort, home feeling, and I'm the blood, sometimes I get nourished by the blood to be pumped out into the extremities to bring the essence of love out to the fingertips. Like every cell of my body wants to experience love. Every version of myself wants to experience the Creator's love, its peace, its comfort, its reassurance. And there are periods of my life where I get to experience that when I'm close to the heart and to the divine. And then there are chapters of my life where I'm very far away from that. But even though I'm far from it, does not mean that I'm not connected to it somehow. And the gift or the opportunity is that I get to take what I have learned from inside of the heart and share it with the other parts of self that maybe feel far away. And so it's an invitation to kind of bring the heart to these uncomfortable times, which also feels alignment to me. Like, yeah, like embracing joy. It's cultivating joy, right? It's that concept. Like, how do I cultivate joy? It's being in honest truth that you are not in the heart. You are in the toes, sister. Okay? You are in the toes. And you know you're in the toes. And the toes are very far away from the heart. However, you can still bring the essence of the heart there. And it doesn't mean that you're not in the toes. It just means that you have a capability, a superpower, an ability as a co-creator and as something that is connected to all that is, to bring the heart there. And it's just an invitation, not a demand, right? It's an invitation for a soul journey. And I can relate to that. For me, the only way that I could actually access it was prayer. I had to have a moment today where I was in the chaos of my own mind, in the fear, in the abandonment wound, in the gunk of it. And I was with a dear friend who invited the opportunity for prayer. And after that prayer, the invitation for the Creator, God, Father, Mother, Mind, all that is loving, kind, clarity, and truth to come forward in that moment. And it was so interesting how, for a good part of the day, after that, I felt good. It came. The peace came. The lightness came. The weight lifted. Super fascinating. Thank you for that, Spirit. The next card is called The Breaking. And the card is 65. Oh goodness, you are breaking apart. Girl. It's like a tower card feeling. You are breaking apart. You might not understand it at all. There is not so much to be understood, but the simplicity doesn't mean it's easy to endure. Oh. You may worry that you're going too far, that you may not recover or ever come back together again. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest before the storm at best. So take the rest if you need it, then dive into the storm. Let yourself be brokenhearted by the divine so that you can become your truth, become all that you're meant to be. It is better to have the heart broken so that it grows than to be brokenhearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. Oof. I'm not crying, you are. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair or frustration you may feel, you are being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine as it strips you of that which sorry, I had to turn the page. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair, or frustration you may feel, you are being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine, as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It is going to be the making of you. And the poem is called Love. Love is a special closeness that sings from the heart, that warms my days and nights, that feels good, that makes me smile, that makes me glad to be alive. Yeah, I'm gonna need a minute with that energy. It makes me very emotional. It makes me feel like I want to cry. It makes me feel this swelling coming up from the base of my neck, like the base of my neck, around my thymus, up into my throat. I feel it wrapping around to the back of my head, and the invitation to break. Ooh, the invitation to break, knowing that I'm being caught, the invitation to fall apart. I'm getting this visualization of like, yeah, let the cocoon fall off of you. Like fall apart, break open. Actually, that would be awesome. Because you're going to find something in there, like a clam that you open up. I don't know if it's a clam, but yeah, that you open up and there's a pearl inside. It's like there's something in this. Okay, so although it feels uncomfortable, although your brain might be telling you it's unsafe, bad, terrible, whatever, crack it open. I promise you there's a gem on the inside of this that you need, and possibly that somebody that you love needs, or that the world needs, but most of all you need, that is going to carry you into something much greater than you have ever been. That's what it comes up for me. Like, what if we approached our anger? What if we approached this brokenness, these feelings that we have with that mindset? It's like, all right, I'm going to dive into this. And not in a destructive way to destroy those around me, but I'm going to dive into this with myself as deep as I can go, because I know that there's something in here for me. Yeah, I had a moment like that today too. What an interesting energy. What an interesting card. What a beautiful invitation into wisdom. And into really, like, when things are good, God is good. The Creator is good. Life is good. But man, when things are not feeling right, the invitation is like, but there's something good in here. I'm seeing that yin yang, like the light and the darkness and the light. Yeah. An invitation to almost sit with the Creator with your shit. I try not to cuss too much, but for those who know me, sometimes this mouth, what an interesting invitation. We're going to go ahead and get into the last card here, which is let the feminine lead the way. The feminine principle in you, whether a man or a woman, is the way forward in your life now. She is the principle of feeling and of surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding light in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. You may not see where you're going, therefore, but you can feel your way forward. Trust her. Let your mind go and let your senses lead you, becoming more exquisite and communicative. Be led by your heart. Don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how it's going to work out. She knows the way, so let her lead. This oracle brings confirmation to you that what you have been feeling or sensing, even without logical physical evidence, is worth following up on. Trust your senses over appearances. Trust your intuition over your intellect. You are letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction. And the poem is, my coming out is the freedom to be fully who I am, and the surrender to the divine essence expressing through and around me. My coming out is the marriage of twin souls with my life partner, in gratitude and love, unfolding as more as we could ever be on our own. If I were to give a channeled message, do you have a message for the world? And if you had a message, could I share it? If there was a message for the world, and if I sang the message, would it sound like The message would be, lean into self-care, rest, bathe, Treat yourself like you would a child that you love, a child that is overstimulated and unsure of what's going on, as if I almost see this baby that's just crying. I remember when Evelyn used to cry, I used to hold her and say, it's so hard being a baby. I know it's so hard. It's so hard being fresh and not knowing what's going on and not knowing what to do and not knowing what you're sensing and not knowing how to help yourself and just having these feelings and these sensations all the time. It's so hard being a baby. And in this moment, I hear this message of like, it is so hard being a human. Sometimes. And how do we go about making it just a little bit easier? Is there anything that you can do in this moment to just take a bit of the bite off? How do we begin to embody that divine, that feminine love, that nurture within ourselves? How do we begin to hold ourselves like a mother would when we are crying and feeling out of control, needing nourishment, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually? How do we intuit what a baby needs? They're not speaking a language, but there's communication happening, or at least there's curiosity happening. And it's not about solving the problem. It's about nurturing the feeling. Right? It's like, you don't have to solve the problem. You don't need to solve the problem right now. What you need is to nurture the discomfort, which may be solving the problem, right? But it's not coming from an intellectual, well, do this and do this and do this. It's a acknowledgement of what is actually here. Oh, you're having a hard time. I'm so sorry for that. You need a hug? Do you need connection? Do you need community? Do you need rest? What do you need right now? What are you denying yourself right now? What are you afraid to say? What are you afraid to feel? What are you not acknowledging? I feel that. Is there any other message? Self-care, self-love. Deep breaths. Why don't we go ahead and take one together? Exhaling fully through the mouth, letting it all out. Go, 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 go. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. All the way out, all the way out, all the way out, all the way out. One more inhale in through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth, maybe sighing. Maybe stretching through the neck and the shoulders. Don't forget to breathe consciously, intentionally, lovingly. I hope these messages find you. I hope that this session feels complete. And if there's any support that I can offer you, please feel free to schedule with me. You can find my scheduling link on my website at www.aliciadunlevy.com. You can also join our membership, where we have a couple of free meditations, access, of course, to these podcasts, access to the community, some check-ins, some journaling prompts, just a soft space to land, to share, to be held. And you can find that on my Ko-Fi website. But until then, and if not, enjoy the podcast. And until next time, praying for you Infinite love and wisdom, thank you so much for this time that we shared together. May you bless the person listening to this podcast in this moment. May you relieve them of all stressors, anxieties, negative energies, entities, and heaviness that may be weighing them down. Liberate them, free them from the negative mindsets and thoughts and fears that may be flowing inside of them, around them, beneath them, and above them, behind them. May they get to experience the white light of Christ, through which nothing negative can penetrate. May you surround them in a protective light. May you whisper words of love into their crown chakras, into their ear chakras. And may they speak those words into their own lives with clarity, love, joy, and peace. May you make space for abundance, removing all lack mentality and all fear. May you make space for clarity, removing all confusion. And I ask for this and so much more. In your sacred name and in your sacred presence, Father, Mother, Mind, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is done. Amen. Ashe. Hallelujah. Peace and love to all of you. And I'll connect with you all soon. Okay. Bye.